Hi, folks. Welcome back to HVAC Talk with Huff. Well, you guessed it, I'm Huff. I know it's been a while. We have been on a crazy journey, been super busy trying to finish up some projects, as well as getting ready to start a new project. I started a new role with a company called Rewiring America. They're a nonprofit that helps low to middle income families be able to afford heat pumps and take part of the electrification initiative. My role there is the contractor success manager, which means that I help ensure that the contractors know and understand heat pumps, that they install them correctly and also commission them correctly, as well as continuing my own business and doing consulting and training and things like that. So it's a super busy time, but I'm very excited for the great opportunities that's been given to me. And so, uh, you know, all that being said, we still have a desire to help other folks and just get as far reach as we can, not for recognition's sake, but more just to help to make an impact in our industry. And I love the HVAC industry. I love the work that I do. And I love being able to interact with technicians and also companies, helping service managers and service departments. And so it's just a great time to be alive. Great time to be in the industry and all that is going on. So today I just want to share just for a few minutes, just a couple thoughts and just challenge, if you will, just give you a challenge. And so the challenge today is for service managers, business owners, people who work in the management of service departments. The question is, how well do you know your technicians? You see, this is an important topic because all too often I've been on job sites where it was assumed that the technician or the installer understood how to do a specific task or how to take specific measurements or even had the tools to take those measurements. And all too often, we've been out on job sites and found that the issue was either the measurements weren't taken correctly, and so therefore they didn't get the correct results, and the right decisions couldn't be made, or they didn't have the right tools, or there was a misunderstanding of some sort about what the real problem was. And so it's unfortunate these things happen, but all too often, it's just with a lot of times there's a large turnover of folks, and so end up hiring technicians based on their word. And let's face it, when we all try to get hired onto a job, we always put our best foot forward. And I've always said that I hate doing resumes because resume is just you're trying to build yourself up, and we always tend to think we always give ourselves the benefit of the doubt, don't we? It's just kind of human nature. I always give myself the benefit of the doubt and think that I know how to do stuff. And there's been times where I really thought I knew what I was doing, only to find out that I didn't quite have it right. I didn't quite understand things exactly the way I should. And I know that happens to everybody. So, when I ask service managers, how well do you know this gentleman or this lady? Oh, they're good, and they've worked here and they've worked there and they've been doing it X amount of years. And that's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't mean that they understand. And I'm not saying this to poke fun or to sound negative. What I want to do is challenge folks to be proactive in understanding who they have working for them. I helped develop a test for a company that they could use to actually, to administer to they actually administered to their whole entire service department. And, it was a breakdown of different segments, right? There was a gas heating section, a refrigeration section, heat pump specific section, low volt, basic install, airflow was another one, and I know I'm missing something, but anyway, it was just a test that kind of put together. And anybody can do this. I mean, it's not really hard. I mean, we have computers and Word documents. You can think about, just come up, if you would, maybe 30 or 40 questions that that a seasoned technician ought to know, and break it down into different sections. The reason we had it broke down into sections, electrical was the one I couldn't think of. The reason we did that is so that we would know, first off, what the strengths and the weaknesses of the technicians were and where we needed to help them. You see, you need to know your technicians. You need to understand their strengths and their weaknesses. Now, you don't do these kind of things to exploit people and to make them feel bad about themselves, but instead, you use people in the areas that they're strong in, and then you provide training to help folks where they're weak and get them up to where they need to be. And in this day and age, when you ask, prospective employees, what it is they're looking for a place they can grow. They're looking for a place that provides training. And a lot of times they're looking also for a family atmosphere. So think about how well you can do if you can put those things together. If you can have a family atmosphere where they feel comfortable being who they are and being honest about their weaknesses, because this is really important, folks. It's really important that people feel comfortable in being honest when they say, I don't know something, that they feel secure enough in their job that they can raise their hand and say, I don't know how to do that. Because wouldn't it serve you better if you knew that than to send him out to the job, or him or her out to the job, only to find out later on they didn't know? And now now you're angry at them and you got to send somebody else out. And so breeding a family atmosphere, finding out what the strengths and weaknesses are, and then help provide the training to get them where they need to be. And that breeds loyalty. And so, in our day and age, we know there's a shortage of manpower. Now, we also know that there's things that you can do and things we can use, such as Measure Quick, to help bring people up to the same level. And we should take full advantage of those things. But still yet, if you want to have good retention, with your employees, then make them feel at home, help them be better, and breed an atmosphere where they feel comfortable when they don't understand how to do something. Another thing is breed synergy into your teams. Synergy is when we work together. I once, was explaining synergy, and typically 2 plus 2 is 4. But with synergy, 2 plus 2 can be much more than that. What that means is, I have about, 32, I think I'm on year 33 of, experience, right? So let's just call it 32. 32 years experience, and yet you got another technician that's got 10 years experience. Well, when I go out to the job, I have my 32 years. When that other technician goes to the job, he or she has their 10 years. But if we work together and we breed a team atmosphere using synergy, where we're worth more together, which is what synergy really means, we're worth more together than we are just the sum of the individual parts. With synergy, now that technician that's got 10 years is going out to the job site, but instead of having 10 years experience, they got 42 because they got their 10 and my 32. Together, they go out there with a lot more years experience, because if they run into something they haven't seen or don't understand, they're going to feel comfortable in picking up that phone and phoning that friend, that's got a couple more years on them, and combined experience together will help them get the job done. And so you have to be able to breed that atmosphere in as well, right? So we need to have a family atmosphere where they feel comfortable in their own skin, being honest with who they are. We need to really help dig in and find out what their strengths and weaknesses are. We need to then provide the training to help get them where they need to be. And sometimes that training exists. Well, I can't afford to bring in a trainer. Well, listen, I understand that. But let's just say that you got one person that's really strong in refrigeration, the refrigeration circuit, right? You got another person that's really strong in electrical, right? Well, if you work those two together during the shoulder season when you're not as busy, the guy who's good in the refrigeration will help the guy who's not, who's strong in electrical but not strong in refrigeration. You'll help bring him up to speed, and then the guy who's strong in electrical will help bring the other guy up to speed on the electrical part, so the two people can actually help train one another. And so, but you can't do this, and you can't make this happen in your company if you're not discovering by some method what their strengths and weaknesses are. And so that's why when I worked with that company that I mentioned earlier, we developed this test. If you need help developing that, reach out to me. I'll put my email address in the description, and we can certainly help you out with that. Now, I'm not doing this video to try to drum up business. I'm doing this video because I really feel passionate about we need to understand our technicians. We need to help them. We need to help grow them, right? I keep telling folks, if you keep just trying to hire off the street, we keep recycling the same folks, right? Find folks, help train them, help make them better. And in that process, you also will end up breeding loyalty through that. So we need to understand who it is we have on the streets. These are the people who are representing our companies, and we need to know who it is, what their strengths and their weaknesses are, so that we can utilize them. Think of our technicians as tools, right? You don't want to take a wrench and use it as a hammer. Now, you might be able to drive a nail in with it, but it's not really what it's used for, and it's going to be painful, and it's not going to work the best, and it's certainly not efficient. Right? So when we look at our technicians, we understand their skill level, we understand what their strengths and their weaknesses are. We can best utilize that manpower to get the most work done and get it done efficiently, and then use those times where we're not as busy to help then build up that resources there in our technicians even better by strengthening up the weak areas that they have. And so take time to really think out this process. How well do you know your technicians, and what can you do to help make them better, which also makes your company better? Because at the end of the day, they're out there, they're wearing your company name on their shirt, and they're representing you. And you want the best representation you can get and the best company name that you can have, because that grows businesses. So take time, think about this process. If you have any questions, or maybe you just want to talk about it, just have some conversation about it, I'll put my email below. Reach out to me. We can set up a time. We can connect, via phone or some kind of video chat or whatever. And we'll certainly offer some suggestions and things that you can do. And if you want to work together, great. If not, I'll still help you because we need to do a better job in our industry of helping technicians grow. And there are some bright young folks out there, and we need to help them, right? And we need to bring them up to the level and up to speed as quick as possible. So hopefully we'll be talking to you guys soon, and you guys take care, be safe, always take care of your family first.